So, WebSockets are a much, much newer technology than HTTP. And the way that WebSockets are different than HTTP connections, there's a couple things. But the main thing is that once a client has made a WebSocket to a server, so once a client has said, sent a request to a server and said, can I set up a WebSocket connection with you rather than an HTTP connection, that connection remains open. So the way I like to visualize sockets, which basically just means a continuous connection between two computers. The way I like to visualize a socket is like once that request has been sent to the server to make one of these types of connections and the server says, okay, you end up with this dedicated connection, which I like to think of something like this kind of tunnel or this pipe that's connected directly between those computers until the connection is closed, and it just stays open. So the advantage of this, the big advantage and difference from HTTP is since this connection stays open, now a server can actually initiate the communication with the client because it's got this pipe sitting here. It's got this connection already set up, and a server at any time can actually decide to send a message to a client rather than what we've always seen where a client has to make a request of a server first. And that is very advantageous in a situation like where we want to get updates. And a server knows that an update is ready to come and it can just push it out to the client. So again, let's go back to this example. Let's say a client over here that's using Facebook on their phone, again, takes a picture, uploads that picture to the server. Now the server can look at that photo, say, I just received this photo. Should I send it out to anybody? Do I have any connections made with any other clients that are a friend of that person and should see the photo? And so in this case, since it has this direct connection, as soon as that photo comes in and gets stored on the server, it can look at that, say, I need to send that to the client. And it doesn't have to wait for the client now to make a request for that picture. It can just take it and push it right across that WebSocket, and now the client will see it instantaneously. So that's what WebSockets are all about. They're a different technology from HTTP. They are not a request and response protocol. They are a continuous connection protocol. And while they have to be initiated by a computer that makes a request to initiate it, once it's set up, it remains open until the client closes it or the server closes it. And now the two computers basically become more like, rather than like a client and a server, they're now kind of in some sense almost like both clients and servers. In other words, either computer can now initiate a communication to the other computer. And so we're kind of going away from this client-server role a little bit once that connection is set up. And now it's just kind of two peer computers that can each send messages to either one. And then, again, the main advantage of that is now that means the server, right? This computer can now initiate the connection just for situations like this. So that's what I want you to know about WebSockets. I'm not going to go into the details of the syntax. Obviously, that's in the Zybook, and you've gone through that. I might ask you a little bit about that on the test, but the main thing I want you to know about WebSockets is what are they used for? How are they different than HTTP? And what are they used for? So situations just like this. And this is something that more and more modern web applications are going to handle situations just like this, where clients want to receive updates from servers on a timely, a real-time basis.